Hello everyone and welcome to this new video where I will explain how to use key movements when you are creating a game for laptop and how to move this player using your keys in the laptop. So I'll start with the code blocks for this. And you can see on my screen here are already the code blocks. I'll just get rid of this and I'll start from scratch again. So I'll start with this event and as a simple event, and then I will put and you can see I'm on the player sprite right now. So on this player sprite, I'll just go to motion and then go to this particular coordinate where I want to put the player at the very beginning. You can make it change to 30 or something, and it will look like this. And then we take the player to the front layer. So basically, I go to looks, and then I change the layer because sometimes your player might get hidden in the background before the game starts. So we have to take it to the front layer for that. So here is my block for that. And then I go to control and I start a forever loop. So in the forever loop, I put three controls because here in this particular scenario, we are only allowing the player to move either on the right side, on the left side, or on the top. So basically, if you are making a jump, the player will automatically come back to the ground because that's how jump works, right? You don't have to bring them down every time they jump. So there are only three keys that are allowed in this game, and that's why it has to jump or go left or right. So I'll create three if then conditions. So the first one, the second one, and the third one. So within the first condition, I'll just put a left arrow. So what happens when the left arrow is pressed? So left arrow, and basically it changes the x by -10. That is, it takes it to the left. So I'll go to change x by 10 and I'll put as -10. But if you want the player to move even more, then you can do that. So basically here you can see the movement is not that much. But if you want to make the movement bigger, then you can always increase this to -20 or something, or even reduce it if you want to make the movement shorter. And then I'll use the right arrow. So again, I go back to sensing, and if right arrow is pressed, then I make changes again to the motion. So basically, I change x by 10 here. And then, and now it comes the most tricky part. So that's the up arrow. So what happens when the up arrow is pressed? So basically, I go to sensing again and I take the same condition, and here I put the up arrow. But what happens then is I have to put the repeat control because now imagine when someone is moving left or right, they just move very linearly. But if someone is jumping, then they will slowly slow down. When you jump, when you start your jump, you move fast, but then you slowly slow down and stop at some point, and then you come back again. So that's the effect that we are trying to create here. So repeat 10, and within that I have to create a variable, by the way. So I change y this time because we are moving vertically. So I go to motion again, and I change y by some number, right? So change y by some number. So we have to find that number. So I'll create a variable. So let's say it's my variable. I have already created a variable called velocity. Let's do it again. Let's say it's the speed. So the speed variable will now make changes to my vertical movement. So change y by speed, and then um, we have to we have to also set the speed. So it's best to set, and it's better to do it at the beginning. So let's set the speed variable to 0 first, and then repeat 10, change y speed by 1, and change speed by 1. So basically, every time you move, your speed changes. So first you start with 0 because set the speed to 0. But as you move, as this repeat loop continues, every time your speed goes up. So I'll show you how it works. So let's see if I now start and see how it works. Is it went down, but it slowed down when it was moving up. Again, it slowed down and then it stopped at some point. Now if I but then I have to put another condition, another repeat, so that it comes back again. So within the same if condition, just after the first repeat ends, I change it, and this time I change the y by speed. So the same speed, but the only difference this time is that the speed needs to be changed by -1. So change speed by -1, because this is how it will look. But wait a second, if we do that, then there is a problem. Let's see what happens. So see, it's not coming down because we are we are not setting the speed to 0 again. So basically, the speed was set to 0 initially, then we kept increasing the speed, and then when he was at the top, the speed should again be set back to 0, and then we have to gradually set the speed to -1. Otherwise, that person will stay at the top itself. So let's do this. Let's change the speed again. So might sound a little bit complex, but it's not. If you practice it once, it will be all right. So here again, the person stopped at some point, but it's not moving again. So what happened when we press the up arrow? Then the speed was set to 0. Repeat 10 times the change y by speed, change speed by 1, and then it went to the top. Set the speed to 0, so it stopped because it's no longer moving. But then it has to change, so I have not changed it to speed. So once I change it to speed, then this will come down, because it was not coming down because the speed was 0. So even if I was repeating 10 times, I was changing the movement by 10 times by 0, so it was not moving at all. But this time, if I change the speed by -1, let's see what happens. See, it's going up and down. Now, if we want, if we can put one more control, and that is to wait for 1.1 second, a very short pause when it reaches the top. So that way, at least we make sure that the jump when it made a jump, it just stays at the top at least for some time before it goes back. So let's put it here and let's make a pause for zero point 0.1 seconds so that it's clear that the goalie made a jump. So here is how it works. See, there was a short jump after this. So that's how the movements work when we are using a player, and the player basically when we use the left key, key, it moved in different directions, and when we press the top key or the up arrow, it basically jumped. So that's how it works, how we can make the player move in a using a keyboard. We can also move it using a mobile phone when we are doing developing a game for a mobile phone. I'll share that in a different video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.